So let's talk about your association with President Trump. So you became friends with him when you were on Celebrity Apprentice?
I'd met him briefly before, actually, on America's Got Talent. He came on as a guest one day, and I had a little chat with him. And obviously, we knew all about Donald Trump in Britain. He was this great, larger-than-life character. Then I go on Celebrity Apprentice. The interesting thing for me with that show was that day one, I met him, and he came up to me and he went, "You're Rupert's guy, right? You used to work for Murdoch." I went, "Yeah." He said, "You were like his youngest editor or something." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay, then you must be smart. You must be smart." And I was laughing, going, "Okay, well, I'm off to a good start." the host of the show thinks I'm smart. I'd also read Art of the Deal 3 times, so I began to play the game exactly how I thought Trump would play it, and began to talk to him almost like Trump, which was definitely a successful strategy. But what I remember being struck by is interesting. One, that he was, over the hundreds of hours I spent with him, in that boardroom, it's 3 or 4 hours a session. And you see, no one can cheat who they are for hundreds of hours. And I'm quite good at, being perceptive about human beings through all my journalistic training over the years. I saw a guy that was clearly very smart, much smarter than I think his critics give him credit for, very charming in those boardrooms, a side I do not see enough of as president. He's come in, he's decided to play the whack president because he's getting whacked all the time. And almost it brings out the worst in both him and his critics, I think. If you read Out of the Deal, his whole strategy to people that criticize him is to punch them 10 times as hard. That's what Donald Trump's DNA is about. It was very successful in real estate. It got him elected president. I would like to see more of the charming Donald Trump that I saw in the boardroom. I think it would go a long way if he just gave us more of that. So, I find that a frustration as somebody who genuinely likes him personally. But I also saw somebody very decisive, pretty solid judgment. He fired all the people I would have fired. He was very good, though, at also creating a lot of controlled chaos. He liked people crashing together and arguing and all that kind of theater and drama, all the stuff we see play out now every day in his presidency. He definitely enjoyed that. He likes conflict and he thrives off it. Donald Trump, if you ask him, would say, I'm sure he's at his best when he's under fire. The problem now is that he's 2.5 years into his presidency, and every day it's a fire. It's a firefight. And I'm not sure the American people are being well served by this. And I don't blame just Donald Trump. I blame everybody. The media is predominantly a liberal media, and they just like poking the bear, and the bear likes swatting them back. But in the middle of all this are the American people, and they're like, every day just seems so dramatic, rather than actually, can't we just get some stuff done here amid all the shrieking and the punch-ups?
I mean, in terms of the interpersonal, my theory about him has always been, because I grew up in Hollywood, that he's basically a performer, meaning that he is great with people who are in the room. And you see when he's doing a live speech that he's playing off the crowd in a way that a stand-up comedian would play off the crowd, not like a normal politician plays off the crowd. And that means that he's mainly appealing to the people who really are almost literally within his eyesight, that playing to the people who are out there beyond the scope of the camera, it almost doesn't seem to occur to him that there are hundreds of millions of other people who are watching this in a way that it might have occurred to him doing The Apprentice, where it's explicitly a product that is made for hundreds of millions of people to watch and is being edited in the back room.
Also, I would say that his strengths are often his weaknesses too. The unfettered insight into the American president in real time on Twitter is fascinating and really riveting on occasion. But it's also obviously can be very damaging and destructive as well. He told me that he likes to wake up in the morning, he sees all the TV screens. If he doesn't like what he's seeing, he just gets up, does a tweet, and watches it all change in real time. That is power, folks. He changes the news agenda with his own hand, with his thumb. Boom. If I was his opponent, or if I was one of the Democrats running against him, I certainly wouldn't run a strategy of just screaming abuse about Donald Trump. It didn't work for Hillary Clinton. It won't work for any of the candidates this time. The only way you can beat Donald Trump is to play your own game against him, not the one he wants you to play. He wants to suck people into a punch-up. It's where he feels more comfortable. He will always justify his actions, good, bad, and ugly, by the number of people that attack him. He'll say, well, look at these people. They're attacking me left, right, and center. Why shouldn't I attack them? We all know that's what he's like. So as the media, I think you have an option, the collective media. Do we spend all day attacking this guy, hoping that he reacts? Is that really in the best interest of how we cover this presidency, given that's what we know he's like? And I think at the moment, it's like they're in an abused relationship, the media and Trump. And it's ugly. And I don't think it works for the American people. I think too much important stuff is getting forgotten about. Every day, the only story is Trump. Every newspaper front page, every news bulletin, every cable news show. It's just Trump, 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 Trump. Other things are happening in the world.
I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Ben Shapiro Show Sunday Special. If you did, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you stay up to date on all of our future content.